Welcome guys to another live stream of the Crypto Herd. Also welcome everyone that's watching this on replay. I'm Bruno and today we're going to be talking about the Web3 gaming giant Illuvium. They've been doing some solid moves. There's a beta going on right now. They've been sharing some leaks also about the Overworld, which is an open world game mode. And really soon we're going to have the Illuvitars, which are profile pictures. So as you can see, there is a lot to talk about, and in order to do so, we brought you here today some team members, Rich and Terran from the Illuvium team. Guys, welcome to the Crypto Herd.
Yo, what's happening, man? Appreciate you having us on. I'm excited for the conversation.
Yep. Yeah, how you doing? It's a pleasure. I'm doing great. National holiday here, so just perfect.
Where are you at?
Italy?
Portugal, Lisbon.
Okay.
Right, cool.
Yeah, I think somebody said there was a national holiday in Italy yesterday too.
Oh yeah, I think it's like this Christmas holidays. I mean, it's just perfect, to just chill and talk about Web3 gaming.
I mean, that's every day.
That's every day.
Basically our jobs, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So guys, maybe some people in the audience still don't know who you are. Why don't you start by doing a brief introduction about yourselves and your role in the Illuvium team?
Dick, do you want to take it?
Yeah. I'm Rich. I'm the community manager for Illuvium. I've been involved in the project for a long time. I mean, since the beginning of 2021, I think, or the end of 2020. But I take care of a bunch of community activities, beta access stuff, help the team out wherever I'm needed, essentially. And that's what I do.
Yeah, cool. So I'm Taran, or TSG, if you watch my content online on YouTube. So I'm a content creator, and my role on Illuvium is influencer manager. So I deal all things influencers, all things like content creation for and just pretty much any creator and influencer relations is what I do. I've been on the team internally for about 3 months now, and I've been a part of the project for since September of last year, so slightly over a year now. That's pretty much what I do.
Okay, that's great. You also have your YouTube channel about Illuvium mostly, right? And Web3 gaming.
Yeah, so I've got a YouTube channel. That's why I said TSG. So my YouTube channel is TSG, Illuvium, and NFT Gaming. I've got I try to focus on more than just Illuvium, but honestly, currently, I look around and there's no real projects that I want to put my name on apart from Illuvium. So is that a Death Note cup? That's a cool cup.
Oh, okay, yeah, it is.
Yeah, Death Note.
A gift from a friend.
I saw that. Yeah,
I love the anime. It's some old school anime. I love it.
Good show. Yeah, absolutely.
So you're an Illuvium maximalist. You don't believe in any other Web3 games that are out there right now.
Not that I don't believe in it. I believe it's going to come, but there's nothing there right now. I'm sure we'll go into it as we have this conversation. But just based on probability and the research that I've looked at, it just seems like Illuvium has the best chance is the most plausible of all of them out there that's actually going to be successful, in my opinion. Not financial advice, based on my research for myself.
And I think we're furthest ahead, honestly.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Why do you guys think that?
Why is it's go for it.
Yeah, I was just gonna say same thing. I checking out other projects. I help our partnership manager at times, go vet projects and do some due diligence on projects. So I'll join their Discords and ask questions, and either, they don't have answers or they're still a little bit behind on, development. And I mean, I've played our beta. I've been playing the game, we're testing it daily. So I know where we're at, and at least from public optics standpoint, nobody's really close, So
yeah. And I also personally think it's you can see the video that's playing right now. Compare that, you tell me what else is comparable. But I also think it's I call it the Tesla effect, where everyone was against it for so long. Tesla's already built up this infrastructure of all the power I don't even know what they call the charges, like the supercharges is what they're called. They built out the infrastructure that if anyone else wants to even start making it, like they've already so far ahead. They've built out that infrastructure. They've got so much of the foundation already built that it's going to be very, very hard for others to catch up. And I think it's the same with us. Like we've got a team of, the last I've heard, about 150 plus. Like we've got the team. Okay. We've got so much of this already done. Like who is catching up? Like it's just that's the reason that I think that. And yeah, I call it the Tesla effect.
I think it makes sense. Actually, I was quite impressed when you guys managed to sell all those land plots during a full bear market. That was
even that,
impressive.
Right?
How did you manage to pull that off?
Community. I think it's community and brand. I think it's simple things like community, brand, and utility. We said what the utility was. We already built it around it, and people were interested in that, right? Like they knew the value of that. We've actually got a strong and engaged community. We don't need to like I mean, hype is always good, but we don't need to overly hype something and try and sell it to them. They're already a part of the community. They're a part of the brand. They know what it is. And our brand hasn't been used to scam anyone. It hasn't been used to do any like our brand has good reputation in the space and amongst users. So like just people just wanted to be a part of that. It wasn't to me, it wasn't a surprise that happened.
Yeah, okay. So what we're seeing right now in the screen is like overworlds, but there's also some the arena as well. So is right now when I look into your website, there are like 4 different game modes. So what's like the final product? Is it going to be like the 4 game modes merge into one like open world modes, or what's like the final product gonna look like?
Well, it's like I was gonna say, well, when you were talking about all that, but the whole term that Kieran kind of coined, which is the interoperable blockchain game, right? So it's 3 games essentially. So it's this is the overworld, and then they're going into a capture scene where they're trying to go fight these alluvials in the arena. So you'll have the arena, you'll have the overworld, and then you'll have the land game, Illuvium Zero. So in order to get the resources that you need in the overworld, you need to either harvest those resources from the land game, Illuvium Zero, or you can buy them on the market from the people who are harvesting those resources in Illuvium Zero. So you'll need those resources either way to go into the overworld. So then once you're in the overworld and you're capturing these alluvials, like after this little battle he does, I believe he captures that Grotto right there. And then so now he owns that Grotto, and he can take that Grotto and go into the Illuvium arena, where you could eventually you'll be able to PvP, like me and TSG could PvP each other. And now I have that Grotto. Or if you're not even interested in that, you could just sell it to somebody who's going to be, competing at an esports level with these different alluvials. So it's all kind of a play loop, and depending on what what you want to do, you could do it all, or you could just pick one, and there's a way for you to just do one of those things. Like you could go on the open market and buy the alluvials and never play the overworld, and just buy a super powerful deck to go start competing, at an esports level in the arena. Or you could start at the beginning, play your land, gather some resources, go play the overworld, catch the alluvials, and then, you've done the entire loop, and you can just sell them, or when you get over it, sell them, or, there's always going to be demand in one section or the other, for either the resources, the land, the alluvials, or, whatever it may be. There will be demand there for your particular want,
That's actually interesting. You're going to have perhaps like different roles in the game. You're going to have people who actually just provide the resources. You're going to have people who just focus on like maybe catching alluvials. And then on the other hand, you're going to have like the people who are like playing at a very high competitive level, and maybe they don't feel like going to capture alluvials in the overworlds.
And I'm sure there'll be people that go and just extract resources to try and like create items and weapons and things like that. I'm sure we're going to see that as well. And by the way, Dick, in the
TSG, you're kind of
Are you in the metaverse?
Oh my God! Let's see what happens. I'll refresh it.
Okay,
My bad, guys.
Take your time. Terran is in the metaverse now.
Yeah.
So actually, you mentioned that people are going to need like the resources from the people who have land plots. So is Illuvium a free-to-play game, or are people going to always have to spend some bucks on like purchasing these resources?
We have a free-to-play version of all of our games, so you'll be able to play any of the games to a certain level for free, So, but we don't have, it's not viable to do, free to play and free to earn, essentially, So, obviously, we all know what happened when that was the case. So,
yeah. And
So
Dick, is my
good.
microphone okay?
Yep.
Yeah, good.
No, it's okay.
Yo,
It's okay.
And Dick, I wanted to mention you kept on saying he when that video was playing. He called Kuroko.
Oh, yeah.
That
I
was
was
me.
thinking the person.
was
Yeah,
me.
that's what I was saying. You playing. Yeah.
Right.
That was you playing, Terran?
That was me playing that game. Yeah, it's a real game. We've been out here playing it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's like being in the Illuvium sim brings you certain advantages, like trying the game before everyone else.
Trying the game is one of the benefits. Being incredibly good looking like myself and Dick is another benefit. It comes with benefits.
That happened after we joined, I guess.
Absolutely. You don't want to see a picture of us before.
It's like Cristiano Ronaldo, like back then, before he started his journey.
Exactly.
Right now.
Exactly like that.
I guess. So guys, tell me more about like free to play versus being a player who actually spends money on the game, on buying these necessary resources, like pros and cons. Like, what am I going to get if I actually buy assets and spend money in Illuvium?
Yeah. Dick, do you wanna start this? I'm gonna try and find a video that I can bring up about the tier zeros.
Yeah, I mean, so basically you'll be able to go and play like the tier zeros, although they're like the free to play alluvials, they will possibly hold some type of value. It just depends, on if people do value them, but it's still going to be the free to play version. Like almost everybody will be able to start in, a free to play region, and then you can start your journey there. And if you want to keep going, then you can, eventually move up and into the paid regions where you're going to be needing to buy those resources. So, like if you're I guess we're going to have to wait and see how it all plays out. But I mean, that's those are the tier zeros right there. Yeah.
So these are the Illuvials free players are going to be able to capture initially.
Yeah. So you actually, no, it's fine. As a free player, you're gonna have access to 75 free alluvials. So you have all 5: Groko, which is the tank or bulwark; Doka, which is the fighter; Atipo, which is the empath healer; Flish, which is the DPS or the scion; and then Volante, which is the rogue or I don't know what the other name is for that, like assassin. It jumps to the back. So you're going to have access to all 5 of these, and you can see they've got the different affinities. So you've got the Groko that's a nature, and you see the water, the air, all of that. But the thing is, with these tier zeros, we actually have a fire Groko, an earth Groko, a water Groko, and the other ones, the air and nature. So you're going to have all 5 of them for each of them. So if you do that, that's quick math. That's 25 different alluvials. And each of them have 3 evolutions or 3 fusions. So 3 stages of them. So 25 times 3, that's a quick 75. So you have access to 75 alluvials as a free-to-play player. And the cool thing is, they're actually pretty viable in the game as well. It's not one of those where, it's free-to-play and you only have really bad characters. Like, we can see it, and I can imagine even for paid players, I wouldn't be surprised if we still saw some of these tier zeros in action in those decks, just because of their skills and things like that. It seems like it's still a viable option. So that's what you're going to get in the free to play in the arena. And in regards to the pay to play, so you get access to a whole bunch more. I don't even know what the number is, but a lot more alluvials. And also, there's a difference between just paying to play it and the pay to win as well. Like there is a little bit of pay to win in one of the arenas. So in our PvP, we have 2 arenas. We have one which is Ascendant, which everything is balanced. So for example, let's say myself and Dick are going PvP, and we both have an Atlas. My Atlas has more defense than his, but if we play in this Ascendant arena, it gets balanced out. It doesn't matter. It's just based on strategy, placement. It doesn't matter what the uniqueness of the Illuvials are. And also, if we have an Atlas, we're able to play all 3 stages. So we can play stage 1, stage 2, or stage 3. So it's very balanced. So like that's not a pay to win at all. We're trying to keep it as fair as possible. Then you have the Leviathan arena, where if my Atlas has more of a defense and it has more of I don't know, attack, we're going to see that in action. So in the marketplace, that's where the value of uniquely statted Illuvials, that the better stats are actually going to come into play. Whereas if you value an Atlas with more health, mine is more valuable. If you value an Atlas with more attack, Dick's would be more valuable. And the cool thing is in Leviathan, if you have Atlas, you can't play any other stage. You can only play Atlas. So if you want to play the other stage, you need to collect that card or buy that card, that Illuvial. So that's like, personally, I actually really like the Leviathan because it means it's like what deck you have. Like if you're playing Pokemon cards, you can't have a Charmander and say, I play Charizard. You can't do that. So I'm really excited for that because that's about the time you spend, the deck you build. That's going to be I think, a more personal experience. But that one can lean towards the more pay to win, because if you do just buy the best things, you do inherently have stronger Illuvials. There still will be like a ranked matchmaking, so you're not going against like the best person.
Players,
you'll be playing around to your own MMR. But it's just gonna.
So TSG won't have to play me.
Yeah. I mean, I'll have to wait like months before Dick gets to where I'm at.
No, other way around.
Other way around. That's right.
Well,
as long as we're both better than Kieran, it's a win in my book.
Yep.
Okay. So that brings me to the question, like when multiplayer, because right now you can play against the computer, right, on the current beta. Mm-hmm. So when are we going to be able to do some PvP matches? I mean, people out there, they're screaming for alpha.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't really have a date for it yet. I mean, I know it's being worked on, like currently. Like I can tell you that much. Like it's not even on the radar yet. So it's being worked on. I haven't played it personally yet. So I mean, like if that is any sort of indication, but I mean, they want to get it out as soon as possible, definitely, because obviously that's what a lot of people are looking forward to. Myself included, and even internally, we're looking forward to playing each other, like I can't wait to test it internally. Like I'm sure as soon as we start testing it internally, we'll start letting people know, that at least we're that far, but we're not quite there yet. So
we might not share it publicly, just because if we do, I think the public's going to know that the work efficiency is going to drop drastically if that is the case. But no, exactly what Dick said, man. Like we don't have an exact date of when it's coming up, but yeah, it is coming, and we understand the importance of it. Like being a PvP game, like, that's the thing that's actually going to keep players playing. Like there's only so much you can play against computer. So we understand how important it is, and we want to make sure that the quality is top tier, like everything else we've dropped, just to make sure that when it does come out, it's at a level that people are actually satisfied with, and it keeps them coming back.
And one other thing that I think you were in that meeting last night with me, or with the Overworld team, it's when it does come, like it'll be kind of finally this loop of playing that we want people to experience, to where you'll go into the Overworld, you'll build your deck, and then you'll be able to play against somebody with your deck that you've built and test out how good your deck is, So it'll finally get to that point where we're actually at a comfortable like gameplay loop for people to test out, So it's pretty exciting, but yeah, it's we don't have an exact date for it.
Yeah, agreed, man. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Sorry. No, go ahead.
Now I was gonna say, because that's something that I've been thinking about, Dick, when I've been playing the beta. I'm just like, yo, now that I've started to collect my own Illuvials, which we couldn't do in survival mode. Now that I've been able to start collecting my own, the only thing that I'm thinking of is, yeah, man, like, yo, man, when are we gonna get PvP? Because now I'm collecting my shit. I won't even lie to you. In my mind, I'm like, yo, I wonder what Dick's collecting. I can't wait to actually like use my deck against it. Like, it's just that feeling automatically comes out once you start playing Overworld. It's like you start assuming, yo, what are your friends catching? Like, oh shit, I know he likes this type of thing. I need to catch this to try and beat. Like, automatically, even without the PvP being ready, like, it's all our minds are already in that that state, right? That's kind of what we're thinking of. I don't know if it might just be me. Maybe I'm just mad competitive. But
no, you're right on cue, and especially like being in the overworld and trying to like, if you only have so many shards, like, what are you, if you go into an encounter and there's nothing there you want, like, you're gonna have to just skip it, you know, like skip it and go to the next one so you can catch what you want, you know. Like, if me and you just played each other today and I'm like, oh shit, he's got this, you know, and I'm like, I gotta go find this, you know, to make it so I can beat him next time, you know. Like, then you're gonna be grinding out there trying to get the guys you want, so the Illuvials you want, so you can go out there and beat your friend, and actually, you know?
It's, man, I love it. I honestly, it's so like, I can just imagine us grinding. I honestly wouldn't tell people, because the work efficiency of the DAO would drastically decrease.
So what they're saying is that when you guys deliver like the next playable version of the game, there's already going to be Overworlds and the PvP.
Overworld, the next deliverable will be an Overworld. PvP being worked on, so that'll be a separate beta on top of
separate
that.
Beta. Okay. So when Overworlds?
Oh man, Dick, I don't know.
Your audience wants.
You're giving me all the win questions, huh?
Nah, I'm just
the Illuvium audience screams alpha.
Very soon, I'll tell you the Illuvium motto, and that's very soon. Very soon. Yeah, we can't do much more than that.
If you really want to know, there's this. We have a lead moderator named Fraggy. You just got to DM him.
Yeah, him. I'm still confused, but no. Otherwise, we have an Illuvium insider in the next 4.5 hours. 4.5 hours showcasing the Overworld. So if you want to ask what an Overworld is, maybe there's an announcement there. Maybe, I'm not promising anything, but
some alpha. Okay.
Definitely tune in.
Yeah, I'd say it might be a good idea to tune in. No promises, but just
be there.
Try it
just
out.
Just in case.
Yeah.
You don't want to miss it out.
Just try it out. See what happens.
So guys, the next question is like regarding the tokens. Like, what is ILV and SILV2 going to be used for? Like, what's the utility of these tokens?
Yeah, ILV is the governance token. So it comes with a few things, like you can stake ILV, you know, to earn rewards. We have ILV set aside for staking rewards and for providing liquidity provider rewards. And so with that, when you stake your ILV, the rewards you get are generally ILV. Like, if you pick ILV though, it is locked for a year and staked continually after that. But the alternative is to choose SILV2, and which you have access to immediately. And SILV2, the point of it is to be used in game. So you would be able, it'd be like kind of, I think the way some people describe it is like a gift card in game. So instead of having to buy some of those resources, maybe you can use it for travel, you know, so you can, and it's tied to the price of ILV. So if ILV is $50, you know, and you have one SILV2, you have $50 worth of, you know, travel expenses.
Power.
Yeah. So that's basically how that works.
Okay, sounds cool. So what can you tell us more about the Illuvitars? That's the next collection of NFTs you guys gonna launch, right? The profile pictures. Are they just profile pictures, or are they going to have utility in the game?
Don't let anyone
go for it, Tim.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't let anyone hear you say they're just profile pictures, because the amount of work that they've put into it, they will cuss you out. No,
someone's gonna kill me.
Yeah, absolutely. Fraggy is definitely just keep calling Fraggy out. No. So they do act as profile pictures for sure, but they're a lot more than that. So they're customizable. So like we see Bored Apes, they've got the same silhouette of the ape. We see Eth Lizards, they've got the same silhouette. Kaiju Kings, all of those things, Cyberkong, all of those things, they've got one silhouette. Whereas what we have is we're gonna have in set 25 different silhouettes of the Illuvials. So you're gonna have 25 different types of Illuvitars with 3 different expressions each. So again, that's another 75 different unique pieces of art just by the Illuvial alone. And then we add different backgrounds. They're actually customizable as well. So we could have different backgrounds, different hats, different earrings, different like cigars, just a whole bunch of things you can
Smoking
really customize.
pipes, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. Like Illuvium tokens, like all of this. You can do so much with it. And it's like a really good way for you to actually showcase and represent yourself, right? And so that's the profile picture side. And then we've actually got a collection album as well. So there's actually like a bit of a mini game where if you collect it, you get access to maybe, let's say there's a water collection where you collect all of the water Illuvitars. Once you do that, you get access to potentially get access to like a special water merch page where it's only people that have that set of that collection that's able to purchase or get that anything from that page. Things like that to real life events, things like that. There's a lot of additional benefits that I won't say benefits, additional utility that we're looking to add onto these Illuvitars, rather than just making it a standard static profile picture. They're taking a lot of time.
Yeah, shout out to Roger, because this was like his baby, you know, like and the collections album thing is going to be very cool. You know, it'll be, imagine, you know, opening up those packs of Pokemon and then putting them in your binder in all those different sections and organizing them. It's going to be like that, but AAA experience and all digital, you know.
Yeah,
it'll be very cool.
Actually, all of this footage is actually out already. So I'm just giving you all of this footage right now. But what I'll do is I'll share the actual. This is all public, so I don't feel bad sharing this at all. It's already been shared before, but well, I'll show you what it's actually going to look like when you get an Illuvitar disc. It opens up, and this is kind of what it's going to look like. This isn't 100% polished, but I mean, it gives you the idea already. So you purchase
like
imagine
that's the reveal of the
correct.
Illuvitar. Okay.
It's like opening up your pack essentially,
and then it'll open it all up. Yeah, and then you can you click on it, and it flips around and shows you what you get. So again, it's like there's no other profile picture that does anything like this. Yeah.
Okay, sounds cool. So you guys already have like a lot of assets. There's like land, there's ILV, SILV2, now the Illuvitars. So in your opinion, what are the best assets to own before the game is launched?
Well, nobody's going to be able to own the Illuvials, you know. So I think with land, it really kind of depends on if you're planning on playing the land game, you know. And you don't even really have to play, because people are talking about renting out their land and that kind of stuff. But like for me personally, and I think it's going to be cool to be able to get these Illuvitars ahead of time, and then, you know, you're going to be able to build out your collection and really get something that represents you in the Illuvium universe, you know, and you'll be able to do that ongoing throughout the entire, you know, it's not just like a 2-week sale, you know, where we're trying to collect as much money as possible. It's you know, these are your PFPs for in-game as well, like partially, and it's a collection game, so it's a gamified experience as well that's going to be ongoing for the entire time, you know. So it'll be it's pretty exciting to get these Illuvitars going soon.
Yeah,
plus you'll be able to get them printed out on plates and the disc plates, which is going to be awesome.
The disc plates, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, what can you tell us about it?
Well, it's like, for anyone that knows what a disc plate is, it's just like a high quality metal plate So we're just gonna have that. So we're gonna have essentially what you get them, you can pretty much not convert them, but you can get them printed out in a display. And so it's just a nice thing for especially us content creators. I'm sure we're gonna see a lot of them on our back walls. But yeah, Illuvitars are definitely the thing I'm most excited for. Like I got some land, but I actually think I'm going to go crazy with Illuvitars. I know I shouldn't, but
it's a good price point too, you know, like for like getting a lot of little packs or a lot of packs of them, you know, like I think a lot of people are gonna, and you can use SILV2 to buy them, right? So if you're staking and collecting rewards, you know, you're going to be able to use SILV2 to purchase these packs as well. So
and I think it'd just be cool to like be able to like customize it, right? Like with the land, it's like what you got is what you got. Whereas with the Illuvitars, we're actually going to get we can get as much as we want, make like one specific to us, and that's going to represent us, and then we can go stupid and do some like absurd ones, and we didn't even talk about like the power levels. Like so Illuvitars is going to have
there will be a leaderboard. Like a leaderboard for points. I think so Aaron said there's something like, you know, multiple billions of combinations of these things, you know. So
I want to say 3 billion or some shit. But I might be wrong. But billions, definitely billions.
So there's things that we may never see, you know, like
so there actually isn't a max supply. It's gonna be a timed limit. So I don't know if we can announce what the time limit is. I'm not gonna say that.
It's not set in stone yet.
It's not set in stone. But it's gonna be a timed limit. So that way, again, our goal here isn't to just like make it super scarce. It will be scarce in the long run. So like maybe a couple of years later, and we're like 7 or 8, 9 sets down, like no one's gonna be able to get set 1 again. And if Illuvium does what we think it's going to do, that's when set 1 becomes valuable, because it's like, oh damn, you guys have been around for that long. Like that's super cool. But for the time being, what we're trying to do is just make it collectible, like a fun collection game where people can just like Tarzos back in the day, or Pokemon cards. Again, like there was a limit of Pokemon cards, but they went super scarce. They're only scarce now because it's like it's not 5 years later, but it's like a decade later, which is the same kind of vibe that we're going for.
Okay, sounds good. So you actually mentioned land gameplay. So when it comes to Illuvium Zero, right? I got it right?
Yes.
So what's that going to consist on? Like players log in every day, they collect resources, they upgrade their buildings. Tell me a bit more about the gameplay of Illuvium Zero.
Yeah, it's like an idle clicker, you know, like, so you'll go through, you'll build out your city. I think originally Kieran said something like it'll take like 30 minutes a day to, like, you know, go through, harvest your minerals, you know, you'll build your buildings. They take a certain amount of time to finish, or you can speed them up with certain speed ups, you know, but it's like a mobile city builder type game, you know, with lots of different resources, and you'll be able to scan alluvials for skins and various other activities, and, you know, to keep you engaged when, you know, like I said, like, I'm gonna play it. I have land, and it's something convenient that I can do while I'm sitting, you know, down at my daughter's school waiting for her to get out of class, you know, or like sitting, you know, wherever, you know, and have a little bit of time on me, go into Illuvium Zero real quick and, you know, harvest all my stuff, and then, you know, move on for another, you know, couple hours until it's ready again.
Wait, so you work for Illuvium and you have time? How?
I'm supposed to be taking my daughter to school right now, but I got my wife doing it this morning. So.
Hey, committed. It's just gonna be like Illuvium Zero. Yeah, like what Dick said. It's just gonna be like a Clash of Clans or a Simpsons Tapped Out. If anyone's played any of those games,
something
at
casual,
the early
right?
game, yeah, like at the early game, it's just gonna be like 10 seconds to build the building. Late game, it's gonna be like 24 hours. Like, it's just one of those kind of idle clicker games, like what Dick said. And also, it's I believe that Kieran put up an image pretty recently of it being an app on the Mac, right? So
I think he
it's
was
not
just showing that he has it on his Mac. Yeah. I don't know
right.
what that was. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's being built for like Mac and PC as well. Don't quote us on this one, or don't quote me on this one. But I do believe that they were saying that they were moving from a WebGL to an actual like app on for PC and Mac as well. But don't quote me on that one. I could be wrong. I don't think I am, but I think that's a thing as well.
Yeah, but I think it makes sense, like, to try to make it available for as many players as possible, like cross-platform.
You're right, because I hate playing on mobile, and I would
Yeah,
have
me too.
despised it.
Yeah, I also don't like mobile games, man. Makes my head hurt. I mean, why
Yeah,
would you
yo.
like just play something on the screen like this when you have
It's,
like
yo.
a 24 inches?
I bought an
yeah.
iPad specifically for this. I bought an iPad as an artist.
to play Illuvium Zero.
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, just clarify me something. Like Overworld is gonna be like an open world, but is this going to be like a solo game mode, or are you going to actually see other players in these game modes? Is it going to be multiplayer?
It's gonna be basically single player. You know, you're gonna
Okay.
be alone in your experience. But I mean, they've already talked about like in the future down the line. You know, like even doing things as simple as, you know, having a hub where, you know, you can talk to people at least, but you still go into the world by yourself. And I mean, like Kieran's even brought up, you know, an MMO, but like as like the very last thing we do, like very like years down the line, you know. But as far as the experience now, it's going to be, you know, a single player experience, you know, but hopefully, I know Aaron already has ideas written down for, you know, a chat, so we can talk to players in the main hub, essentially.
Yeah.
But
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. So basically, people are going to catch Illuvials in a solo game mode, and then going to use these Illuvials in a multiplayer game mode, which is the arena. We're going to have PvP and different ranked ladders.
Correct.
I mean,
correct.
sounds like a good, a nice game model. Then in
Yeah.
your roadmap, you have written second major Illuvium title. Do you want to comment on these guys?
the what is it?
So
roadmap.
if I actually come here to the white paper, I can actually.
Oh
share
yeah,
it.
that's being updated still.
Yeah, the white
Okay.
paper has not been updated for quite some time.
I think the other title it might have been talking about is Illuvium Zero.
Ah, okay, that's the other title. Okay.
I thought it was going to be like the other, like outside of Illuvium, because Illuvium Zero at that point, when that white paper, that was meant to be a mini game, right?
I don't even think it was. I don't even think it was on there when the white paper.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
very
So I saw
deep.
this like mobile release upcoming, then second major Illuvium title. So I was like, are you guys gonna build another
I mean,
game?
I mean, they already have ideas about, like, you know, Kieran's brought it up multiple times about like the next title, and you know, Aaron's got his dating simulator, Hearts Ablaze. I think I think he said that's pretty much ready in his mind, you know. So I don't know. I think it's just, you know, Kieran's talked about, you know, a racer, you know, like a Mario Kart type Illuvium racer, something like that. But like, nothing's set in stone essentially yet.
It's just some ideas.
Yep, just ideas
so far.
Yeah, and it's going to be up to the council when that time does come. It will be up to the council to decide what the next genre is. So if for example, I want a Super Smash Brothers, and the community's like, no, we don't want that, they're just gonna say no. So
I'd like a Super Smash title too. I forget. Rajir had a name for it, but I forget what it is.
No way.
I've actually had a name for it.
I've asked Aaron actually, but Aaron's like, yo, it's in the plans, but it'll just be so difficult because they need like actually. They're not.
Oh yeah, like the animations characters for it. And
it would be
stuff,
nuts.
Like...
It'd be stupid. yeah. But I beg they do it at some point. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Here Taylor is mentioning. Yeah, white paper is an ancient artifact of Illuvium at this point.
Yeah. It's part of the
what
lore.
happens when you give. That's what happens when you give the community power to, you know, make decisions. You know, like.
Things change quickly. Yeah,
Forget
for sure.
about the roadmap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Agreed.
So guys, now tell me, you have like your land plots being sold on Immutable X. So why Immutable X and not any other Web3 gaming platform?
IMX. So IMX has like a very fast transaction rate, and like they have zero gas fees. Essentially, it's the best experience for microtransactions. That they researched. The team researched a few other solutions, and IMX came out as the best that they could find. And so so when you're going into the overworld and you're capturing an alluvial, or you're harvesting minerals, or you want it to be a seamless experience. You don't want any wait time for having those NFTs in your wallet. So really, you don't even want to know it's happening, and that's what IMX provides. So that's one of the major reasons, definitely.
And also IMX, the guys at IMX are also the guys that started up with Gods Unchained, right? So in regards to actually scaling up a game and all of those issues that you'd imagine a new platform, a new layer 2 that would run into, especially with scaling up a game, they've been through it. Like they know what to look for. They've started to build those solutions themselves. So like they kind of know what's going to happen, or the problems we are going to face. So it's going to be a lot more proactive going with them than someone that's going to be very reactive.
Yeah, they're honestly great too. Like every bit of support that they've given us during the land sale and stuff, like they're awesome in every aspect. I've dealt with them. They're great.
Yeah, I actually think that the top Web3 games right now, they're all choosing Immutable X. So I think right now in the industry, it's all either like Immutable X or Gala. Now there's also Myria popping up, but it's still in its early stages of development. So I would say that when it comes to Web3 gaming ecosystems, it's like either IMX or Gala right now. Those are like the big giants.
And I don't know, I saw like it was a while back, but I saw like even Gary Vee did book games on IMX. So in my mind, it's like if they're able to deal with that kind of scalability, like Gary Vee is big and he has a lot of people. If they can handle that kind of traffic, it's that alone speaks for itself.
Yeah, Gary Vee also has his NFT collections. Actually, he's a big inspiration for me. I really like his videos, quite inspirational.
Yeah. I love Gary Vee. I have 4 or 5 V friends too. V2s. I forget how many I have, but yeah, I've got a few. Yeah. Gary Vee is a gangster.
I never bought these NFTs, but definitely like many of the decisions I took, like they were inspired by like his contents and his quotes and everything. Really like the guy. So guys, now community questions. Does anyone ask questions for our host, Darren and Rich? Let me know in the chat if you have any questions to ask to our guests. I think people just want alpha. They don't have questions. They just want alpha.
I can't see any of the comments.
I think the face of Illuvium Jimbo is in the crowd.
Jimbo! Yo, for anyone that doesn't know, like essentially Illuvium was created in honor of Jimbo. So if you aren't already, go to Jimbo Reno's YouTube channel, subscribe, because that's where you're gonna get all the secret sauce. Everything all of it.
And I have a segment weekly where I play somebody from the community in our arena one-on-one. And I lost last week to Muffin Man, but I'm playing Jimbo this week, and I think he's pretty scared,
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one. Jimbo is.
We're having little competitions now, even though we don't have PvP yet, but we're still having some fun.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's when you asked before about like, yo, how did we deal with the land sale? And I said community. Man, our community is actually the best. Like every single day, there's people in voice chat, people that share, like laugh, like it's just good fun always. I'm grateful, honestly grateful, to be a part of the team, to be a part of the community. Like Illuvium is going to take over. Not financial advice.
Do your own research, guys. Yeah, actually, it's impressive. Like 350,000 followers on Twitter. That's insane. I think like Illuvium as like the second biggest community in Web3 gaming. I think X is still the first one.
Well,
when it
I'd
comes
probably
to
say they're
community
probably still
members?
first.
Yeah,
I'd probably say
like
they probably aren't as active as they used to be, though.
No. X
actually,
lost a lot of players.
you'd be surprised, man. We actually checked today. I forget what the number is off the top of my head, but we checked today what the active users are, and it's still like in the hundreds of thousands, like live viewers or like live like daily active users. It's pretty nuts. They're still going pretty strong.
Yeah, we
It's-
have
it's very interesting.
Figment over there in the chat brought up, but yeah, we also have trivia that we do weekly, and that's like right after this. Like essentially, as soon as this ends, I'm hopping over on the Discord to start doing the trivia, and we
sick.
give out beta access weekly with that. You know, if people come participate, they can have some fun, play some trivia. Venomore made it this week though, so we'll see if it's a rug, but you know, it should be pretty fun.
And Dick, can you tell us how can the people watching, how can they join you at trivia?
Yeah, just hop on the Discord, and there's an Illuvium voice channel down in the voice channels, about halfway down or 3/4 of the way down. And yeah, we'll be in there. I'm sure people are already collecting in there. Let me see. Yeah, there's already people down in there. Vetamore's in there actually right now.
Yeah.
And so is Garf.
Okay.
So yeah, people are waiting.
Yeah. Go in there and have fun, man. Talk some shit. It's good. I might join. Yeah, I might join today. I'll get some work done and talk some shit.
So guys, that's cool. So make sure you guys join on Discord, Illuvium's Discord. Trivia starting in like 5 minutes, which is like the time we have to finish this. So I was going to ask you, like, for the last question, as a last question, top 5 Web3 games you're most bullish on besides Illuvium. But I already understood that you guys are Illuvium maximalists. So
I mean, I honestly just I won a trip to Iceland from Civitas. So Civitas is up there for me, but it's not out yet. But I mean, those guys hooked me up, I guess. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked on those guys.
Can't be shitting on them after that. Yeah.
I remember Kirian talked about this in one of our streams.
Yeah. So
what's Civitas about?
I minted one of the Civitas, and I happened to. They had a pretty cool thing that actually I encouraged our team to do, which was during their mint, during their Dutch auction mint, if you got certain milestones, you know, you could win something. So if you were in the first 25 wallets that minted during the Dutch auction, you could win a trip to Iceland, and I ended up winning it. So like I got lucky. I never win anything. So but yeah, I encouraged our team to kind of use that same tactic for Illuvitars. So we'll see what we come up with, but I think we'll have some cool milestones too, like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Civitas is like I want to say it's like a civilization, Web3 game, like that type of game. But it's pretty in depth. I read their white paper, and it's the first white paper I've read since Illuvium's like over a year ago. So it's a pretty interesting project.
So is it like a real-time strategy game?
Turn-based. Again, more like Civilization than Age of Empires. Yeah.
Because
I forget what it's called. Is it a 4X game? I don't even know what it's called.
Yeah. That's what they call it. I had to look up 4X
what that strategy. Yeah, 4X strategy game. Yeah.
4X strategy. Okay, because I think we still need real-time strategy games. Right now we have like Hash Rush, and all the other ones are like in super early stages of development. So I don't think we still have any finished or playable.
I got access to Hash Rush. I played it a little bit. It was I mean, it's still early, you know.
Still early,
yeah. The like going back to the top 5 games, I think Gods Unchained is the one that I rate highly, apart from Illuvium. But going back to like even at the very start of this conversation, why Illuvium? It's like my thesis is, compared to everything else, man, it's just like, if you're a first-person shooter, you're competing against Fortnite, Overwatch, Valorant, like Call of Duty, Battlefield. That's very hard to do and very hard to compete against, even if you were just a Web 2 game. So it seems very unlikely that that it's going to onboard a lot of people. Same with, for example, as much as I love Gods Unchained, their competitors are Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic the Gathering, Hearthstone. Like, their competitors are huge. Whereas if you look at Illuvium, who was the competitor for Illuvium? Teamfight Tactics and Dota Underlords. Like, you've got 3. You've got Teamfight Tactics, Dota Underlords, and Auto Chess. Auto chess is a chess game, so they're not really comparable. Dota Underlords is a shit game that they haven't updated in like years. So you look at the Steam comments, it's like nobody is happy with it. So you're only left with Teamfight Tactics, and they have 8 to 10 million daily players. So even if we take a small percentage of that, 10 to 12%, that's a million daily players. So compared to all of the other games, it's like if you're a racing game, who are you competing against? Gran Turismo, Forza, Need for Speed. It's like your competition is so tough. Whereas Illuvium is positioned so well that it seems very plausible that we're able to achieve what we're setting out to achieve, which is why this is why I think that it's hard for us to say, oh, what's the other best games out there? There's no one really close to matching their Web2 counterparts except for Illuvium, in my opinion.
What about Planet Mojo? They also have like an auto battler with multiplayer already. Did you try it?
No, I haven't tried it. I watched a little bit of your video, but I haven't seen it. But from what I saw, and this is not shitting on the game, I've never played it, but graphically, it's just not
it's
the
not
same.
as good because it's a browser game. It's like a game you play from a browser. So,
and that's the thing. Like I don't know if they have plans to make it not a browser game, but it's like I think we're at a stage now. It's like people buy real games, like they play real games. Even a free-to-play game like Fortnite isn't a browser game. It's a real game. Like there's a stat. Like we're not playing mini clips anymore. Like I don't know if anyone remembers mini clips and Newgrounds and shit like that. We're not on those games anymore. So, and I'm not shitting on them. I wish them the very best. But yeah, I think it's just a different.
Yeah, it's a different. I feel like there's audiences for every platform, you know. Like
of course.
I think the biggest one is like mobile. Actually, mobile is the biggest platform with the biggest audience right now.
Yeah, I'm like you though. Like I can't play mobile games. Like
but I can't. I don't like it.
Yeah,
too.
like
that's because we're all old. We're just old. We are not of that generation. The young kids though, that's all they're on. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you go to like Asia, everyone's playing on their own.
I even have like
phones.
the biggest. I have the biggest iPhone, but my hands are too big. I can't click the buttons. You know, like I finally got BlueStacks, so like I can use Twitter on my computer because Twitter on the phone's a terrible experience.
It's
like
trash.
Oh
yeah. But man, it's actually interesting about the mobile phone, the mobile gaming. Females in Asia, massive. Like, because females in Asia don't play on like PCs and things like that, but all of them, like, actually, I'm sure I'm making up this stat, but based on like my experience, like it's about 90% of them. 90% of them all play some kind of. My wife doesn't even play games,
but 90%.
Yeah, making up. Yeah, like my wife doesn't play games at all. But when there was like the Harry Potter game, she was addicted to that on her mobile. Like, if I ask her to play Smash Bros or Mario Kart, she has no idea what she's doing. If I'm like, yo, like what game are you playing? Like there's always a game she's playing on her phone. There's at least one in rotation. It's just accessible. It's accessible.
Yeah, I feel like when it comes to Asia, I feel like one major reason why there's more mobile players than desktop is because of economical reasons. Because if you think about it, like an Android phone is kind of cheap, while a computer is something a bit more expensive. So I feel like that could also be another reason.
Another time. Like if you're on a bus, you can't take your computer, but you can take your phone.
Mobile data, and you can play wherever you want. Yeah. That's right.
Exactly. It's accessibility. Yeah.
Actually, it's one interesting thing you said was like Illuvium. When it comes to like its competitors, you don't have many in Web2, but I feel like the Web3 gaming community is kind of starting to become like a separate community from the Web2 gaming community. You know, so I'm not sure how like accurate it is to like compare Web3 games with Web2 games, because I feel like those are separate audiences.
Yeah, they are. But like again, if you're a Web3 game and you want to like win, like what is the total amount of gamers in Web3? It's very small. If that's all you're targeting, that's a very bad business model. Like that's a very bad business model.
Yeah, I think makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, like if you're only saying, oh, but you're different from us, but they have 99.99% of the market share. You only want to compete for 0.1. That's your okay, cool. Do that. We're going to try and fight for this one. Like, you can enjoy it. Yeah, I agree with you. Again, my opinion. I feel like there are some good titles that are coming out right now, like Earth from Another Sun. I've tried it, and actually these guys have like a Web2 version and also have a Web3 version.
Also, a Gala game Superior, they're doing exactly the same thing. We have like a version on Steam without NFTs, and then you have another version on Gala with NFTs and Web3 elements. So it's kind of interesting how they're trying to like penetrate the Web2 market somehow, even though they thought originally about the project as a Web3 game.
Yeah,
but yeah, I guess that's a strategy. The market there is huge. The major audience is right there still. To take some time.
I like the way we're doing it, like in regards to where we're doing the non-custodial, so people can play our game without having a wallet, and we'll hold it, and then they can press a button, and then they'll get a wallet. Like, we can do all of that. But in regards to like, we're building an IP, right? An IP that people are actually gonna like. That's going to extend into Web 2. So if someone sees an Atlas, it's gonna evoke a feeling. If someone sees a Ramfire, it's gonna evoke a feeling. We're not selling them the idea of, oh man, this is NFTs. Or we have this game that doesn't have any. We have this game that has like, it's just, this is the game we're building. This is the IP we're building. This is the quality we're building. You can come in and play it. You can not, like, it's fine, but here it is. I like that because it's kind of like, you don't see Gucci changing and saying, oh, but we do this, we do, like, you don't see that with high-end top tier brands. Like they have a standard that they set and they go for that. I think it's important. But again, these are just my opinions. Like, I could be wrong. I don't think I am, but these are just my opinions.
Okay, guys, thank you a lot. I think that we don't have any more community questions, so we're going to end up our session now. Guys, make sure you join Trivia. It's going to start in any minute in Illuvium's Discord. Don't miss it out with Rich. Also, make sure you subscribe to the Crypto Herd for more Illuvium and Web3 gaming content. Taran and Rich, it was a pleasure to have you on board. Okay,
Yep.
hope
Thanks,
we'll do
man.
more of
Appreciate
these AMAs and see you around.
Yep.
Thanks, guys,
Peace.
and see you in the metaverse. Peace. Okay, that's